Hello everyone, welcome back to the another episode of the TechGuy podcast. Today we do have a couple of topics: the Apple event launch, then there was Amazon Alexa that is launched last week, then we have some AI updates weekly and a announcement, obviously a small announcement that I will give you further in the as we go in the podcast, and then we have a couple of small news here and there. But yeah, let's just get started. And also I want to talk about the reason why this podcast episode was delayed is because of some technicalities. The thing is, uh, I wanted to make this podcast on upload on Friday. It didn't happen is because there was some, I was doing some other stuff that, again, it's all around this work. Also basically it's on podcast, on my other channels. So stay tuned. I will not try to miss the podcast episodes, but there will be kind of a delay. And if you want to have any kind of update regarding the delays or regarding why the podcast didn't come, always subscribe and stick to the channel. Like, I will post in the community notes, community section, where if there is a podcast delay, when it will be coming, or is it coming or not this week. So we have that update only on YouTube. I'm not posting anywhere any stuff else, only on YouTube. If you are watching it, and if you know it, go check those posts that I do on Friday if there is not a podcast. And eventually, even on Friday, there will be not set time according to me. So there will be delays, but not a podcast miss. Also I want to talk about the my other clips channel, the other highlight channel of my podcast that I'm gonna talk. That is it's named the Tech Guy podcast clips. There I upload 10 minutes clips from this podcast. So you want small or something new, where you aren't that kind of a guy who would watch 1 hour podcast kind of a stuff, I will recommend go to that channel and subscribe, so you get the all news but in shorter format, but in some basic editing. So that is it. I will link down that channel's link in the description as always, and also about my newsletter that we will be having tomorrow on Monday. Hopefully this goes today only, because I'm recording and will be editing this podcast on the same day. So let's just get started with our first headline. I think one of the most interesting news and interesting thing that happened last week was the Amazon launching their Alexa Plus. They are naming it the Alexa's AI model. That is, I have been waiting for last couple of months, because I was like, every company is stepping into AI nowadays, and why Amazon is falling, not just falling behind, but there are no specific updates regarding their Alexa devices, what they're going to do with Alexa, their Echo devices, basically, that are home pods that are so much popular and around the world, that lots of people have it, uh, and people love it. People use it on daily basis, like, for as a speaker. It's a good speaker, wireless speaker, or all around the home. And it's also a good device that, most of the people use it for only music listening and just commanding Alexa to play a specific kind of music. And the most people will go to the lane that just their amazon connecting their Amazon Music to it, so it can play their playlist. I think that's it. But it's people do have those devices on their home. And Alexa Plus, and what Amazon did with Alexa Plus was a really good move. I will say right now only, because what other companies, big companies, are trying to do, I think, comparing to those companies like Apple, Google, or even hardware companies, I'm saying Samsung, in what they're trying to do ultimately is making a hardware for the AI, rather than it should be opposite, basically. Like, there should be, first of all, AI as a good tool, a good feature that can be involved in every other people's phone. And that is what I'm missing from every other company. What they are trying to do is build a hardware that AI can support, that hardware can be supported by AI basically. So AI can be run, like Apple Intelligence is only available on 15 Pro, and further devices like on 16 and 15 Pro, now 16e, and the newer MacBook models. But the problem occurs when the thing is, what you are trying to achieve doesn't meet the hardware expectation, and that is what is happening with Apple. That I don't think we will discuss in this episode. We will definitely be discussing on next episode, that is in depth. But a couple of news that are going around, that Apple Intelligence is going to be delayed, and that is what I think Alexa, like Amazon's move, that making Alexa available to, not just making good, not just making hardware and fixating people, that if you want Alexa plus a good system, uh, fixate people on buying to those hardware products, rather than they have, what they have done is, it is basically cloud-based AI. So what they have done is basically added Alexa to lot of previous versions of generations of the devices, which is so good, because that is what is not being done by Apple here, and people are not happy about it, because expectations are not met when people buy a specific phone for specific features. Like somebody might have bought the Apple 16 just because it is going to provide them like Apple Intelligence, like Siri, features that people are interested when they showed there in their ads, showed there in their events, like in their keynotes. That's why people buy Samsung. That's why people are buying new Google devices, Pixels. But they are not providing, especially what Apple is doing, like not providing, like there are not even Apple Intelligence features that are coming to Apple Intelligence that people were expecting to come into their devices, and now they have delayed. But what Amazon did here with Alexa Plus was really good. That is what I really like, is rather than just making a good hardware device for specifically Alexa plus, like that AI to support the device, they have, it is basically, I think, cloud based. They are not told, I specifically don't know if it's a cloud based or not. I think it is obviously cloud based, because the new Alexa Plus can be used in older devices, I think from Echo 8 to the latest one, I think, and the newer one they also launched it. And that is what I hope to, is like, for our other companies to do, rather than making a device for AI but they are not providing the AI features that they have promised basically. So Amazon Alexa Plus is basically, you can say, if you have used Chat GPT's voice assistant basically, where if you have used one, the latest one, or if you have used the Gemini Live, basic, that is one is good example. I think those are good examples that I have tested, and it is exactly like that, but more personalized to your own basic stuff that Amazon already used to provide. So basically, having personalized music taste, having personalized uh, depending upon where it is, depending upon the location your house is, it definitely understands the contextual behavior. But the thing is, it has not came out, so I don't know how it will work. But at least what they have tried to do here is basically given the people that not promising, but what they are promising at the higher level. If you have seen their advertisement for the Apple Alexa Plus, is basically, you can say, that is not happening, I will say, right now, on right in, like, going in all the way. But what they are trying to make up here is really good, where it is, you don't have to buy anything new if you have already a older device. So older device, just because and then if you want to use, you can basically get I think, Prime subscription. If you have a Prime subscription, it is free with that, and if you don't, it is available with a specific, its special subscription, which is $20, I think. 19 Yes, $19 99 cents, basically $20. So it is in that way. But what they have definitely done right is, I I believe, and that will work for them, I think, is basically people already have Amazon's echoes in their homes, that is the older ones, and now they have just given people choice. If like, hey, if you have Amazon Prime, then you can definitely use this our free new Alexa Plus that you can try it. Like basically it's free with Amazon Prime, you can use it. And even if you don't have it, the even if you don't have like Amazon Prime, they have already offered a plus subscription, I think, a subscription where it is $19 or $20, which it will basically tell people. I think it's what they're trying to do here is give people options who already are Amazon customers. Basically they are not trying to reach I think the newer customers here with the newer device, because I don't think they have provided any newer things here in terms of hardware. What they have provided here is people that given an option like, hey, we are also stepping into this AI, new uh, AI era in the Amazon Alexa too. So Alexa is powered by AI and you can use it, you can try it, and people who try it, people who liked it, they will definitely continue. And people who have Prime membership, and they will, I think, definitely will be benefited from it, basically because it's free for them. I don't think there is a hike of Prime subscription, at least for now. I think I tried to do some research about how past couple of months if there is a hike in Prime subscription, and there are not, at least in India here. So that is what a kind of an, I will say, a good move from. That is why I said in the start of it that I feel such a good strategy from Amazon about it, that how good it can be. And providing people is like, this is it, this is what we have built. It is not, even though it is, I don't think it, even though it is not on device, people will, people who are excited about it will use it. And if it's become convenient for them to, like, okay, it's getting interesting, it is getting really good in those things that they wanted to do, like contextual speech, awareness of conversation like couple of days ago, and handing, like getting over the calendar, and reading emails, reading summarized emails for you, and creating shopping lists, creating to-do lists, creating notes. That what that what they are trying to say. Like if you see that video of the promo that they did with Alexa Plus, you can definitely see that they are trying to sell what other companies are trying to do, but not with hardware, but with a subscription. That okay, this is with the subscription you can get it with whatever device you have, at least up from 8. And people will have, if you have the newer one, they will definitely just try it. And people who have tried, they will just like get and use it and just try it on the way. And people, if they get hang on it, I will say, for at least, I don't think a lot of people will go with subscription. Like $20 is a lot of money for Alexa Plus, I think. But and also you don't know how you are going to use it. The people who are curious, I think, will use. People who are into tech, who will use it for 1 month and just like as for like to get know what it is. And people who have Prime will just uh, turn it on and just forget it exists. And that is what I think any company want is like, they want to use their features as that it it is as smooth as they shouldn't feel like it's kind of in fiction there. But for now, what it is in early access. I don't think anyone can use it right now. You can pre-order one, or if you want to use Amazon Alexa Plus, you can order, like you can try it. I think after a couple of weeks, I think in the upcoming week, it is going to get launched on all devices. And you can use it with subscription for Prime. A good move ultimately. But I'm gonna talk about the Amazon's overall Prime model, what they are trying to build here. So if you are unaware what Prime subscriptions are, basically, so Prime subscription are overall Amazon service kind of a thing. So in Prime subscription, there is multiple things involved in Prime subscription. Okay, So as you know, like there is kind of a Netflix subscription where you get a Netflix subscription. There are, you can watch obviously all streaming shows done by Netflix, Netflix original, or whatever the catalog Netflix provides. And there are specific Netflix game. If you only have Netflix account, you can play. uh, there is couple of games on our mobile too that does, like they have specific, you can only play those games if you have Netflix subscription. So Netflix is on those couple of things, like it has Netflix. And so it is those kind of things that Netflix does. Same in with Amazon Prime subscription. Amazon Prime subscription provides also, like it has their own Prime videos where they have their own streaming service, streaming shows, their own movies, their own big shows like Rings of Power. Like in India there is a Family Man. Like there are these big shows done by Prime, but it does not just provide that specific one. Like let's say in Prime subscription, that is just one category that you will get within that Prime subscription. Then there is another category you have is free deliveries at Amazon Prime. Sorry, at Amazon.com. So basically Amazon is already like e-commerce. So e-commerce, like it's a marketplace basically to sell your to get to buy products. So basically Amazon, if you have Amazon Prime subscription, they will not charge you the, and if you link your Amazon account to Amazon Prime subscription, basically if they are same, you will not be able to, they will not charge you the delivery fee that is like couple of bucks or like 40 or 80 rupees in India here. That they will give delivery for free, and they will have Prime. If you have Prime subscription, the delivery be on the delivery be as fast as possible from them. So they have priorities for people who have gotten the subscription model subscriptions, you know. Then there is other stuff, like I think games are also done by Amazon Prime. Then there is then there are on other parts of streaming subscription, like Amazon also owns Twitch. So if you have Prime subscription, you can watch, you can buy I think Prime. You can subscribe to us, like a customer you like on Twitch, and you can watch ad free there too for that specific streamer. So you can say, I can say, you can say that Prime, under Prime subscription, there are multiple things that you can have and that you can grab this offer, like in on Twitch platform, which is owned by Amazon. Basically on Twitch platform, basically you can go and buy subscription of Twitch streamers by Prime. Then there is Amazon Prime videos. They also have a new catalog of things, and now they have the Amazon Prime subscription for Amazon shopping. And then now they have added one more Alexa Plus in that. That is a $20 if you buy separately, but with Amazon Prime it comes in under all that whole subscription model, which I just like how genius that idea is about Amazon Prime subscription. Like Jeff Bezos is like a genius in that. Like I don't know who came up with that idea of subscription model, which contains multiple things you can get, as in shopping, and then there is videos, then there is now this Alexa Plus, then there are multiple things. It's like it's it's so value packed as a person. Believe, like if I want to, if I have multiple choices like Netflix, Amazon, I will all, like definitely will be tempted by Amazon's these multiple choices they are giving with their Prime subscription. And I love that they have added the Alexa Plus for free, whoever the Prime user is, because that is their ultimate main goal of people, like group of people basically, which have their subscription, which is ultimately a big subscription by, I think I will say, the most the most their main customers, I will say, because those people will go on and will go on Amazon and will buy stuff from Amazon because they have Prime, so they will get free deliveries. Those people who will watch Prime videos, those people will go on Twitch, younger people who watch basically Twitch streamers. So they have multiple kind of stuff in there, and then adding Alexa Plus in that, it just provides a strong suit for like how good it is, I believe. So like I just wanted to say that like how well that subscription is being managed, and even if they increase price by a couple of dollars, or like 100 200 rupees here and there, there is so much value in that specific, because people, because there are multiple things, people don't just mind giving it. Well, like it's a good, I just wanted to say is like a good kind of a business financial strategy, I will say. uh, I don't know if it's a word or not, but it's a good business strategy there. And now they have added Alexa Plus in that same subscription, which is a genius move, I will say, by there, because they know that the current AI that people are using is not as good as or any other company is promising. Like Apple Intelligence is not as good. Like Siri has not gotten better. Google has not as gotten better. Literally last month now, when Samsung launched their new Bixby X Gemini, even if it's just started out, it's still not good. It's still not better as what it get people need to be, basically. And I'm just talking about basic stuff. The AI has not even gotten better in when it comes to basic assistant, like basic assistant, and especially in voice, especially like in our devices, it has not came. Like Apple, you can see, you can literally see the Apple is struggling with it, with their AI, and now so many delays are happening. So I hope that, and that's what I think they did, where that they were hoping if they came in a little bit late, it's okay because they are providing the good one. But seeing how the trajectory of other companies are going through their AI crisis, they are not trying to push them hard too. So I don't think they bother to create a completely new device with AI. I think what they try to do is basically they can get AI from anyone. And with the same with Alexa Plus, they have partnership with Anthropic and their own Nova model. So basically, like you can see here the pattern, like they, it's not about who is going further with AI. It's about who can get that AI in their own device and make it just better for people's experience, so that people can go and buy for device for that. And that is what I think did what the strategy here. Like right now the current AI situation is definitely not good in any phones, any company. Like everyone is struggling, especially in tech. And now Amazon comes, uh, promises, okay, we have this kind of stuff in future, but for now you can use Alexa Plus on your even older devices. So people who get hang of it, people who likes it right now what it is, and people with Prime, they can get free literally if it's, and get that whole decision, I will say, a really good turning point for them in future, where they introduce another version of AI Alexa Plus, like next year, or even let's say couple of months, like 6 months from now, you don't know. But like next year, let's say the AI has become better, AI has become good, and people want AI assistants in their hand, then I think then Amazon will again come in and make their own device with a good hardware, with specific AI features that can be done by that hardware in future. But they try to do what now is where with their like AI with older device, like you can use AI whatever device you have right now. And now people are just like, if people who are interested will use it, people who are not, they will just don't care about it. But uh, there are so much backing up to this, like Prime. Then there is they have also added the subscription, but I don't think people will get the subscription. And people who have Prime will definitely will use the new Alexa Plus in, if they have the Prime one and the device that is capable of doing it. There are 5 devices that are capable, I think: Echo 8, 10, 15, and 21, as mentioned on their website. I will link down in the description below. Then um, if you want to know what features is it's going to be, it is like there is a video available on YouTube, like you can go and see there, like it's kind of an ad, a promo done by them, and you can go and see there how, just like how similar that video is with every other company AI has done with their voice assistant can be, like what the series promos were for last year for iPhone 16, which is still not available. That level of Siri we don't have it, even if beta users don't have it. So that ad is same, like they specifically mention even in the event, like how it is well integrated with your calendar, how well it is integrated with your emails, but ultimately there is a kind of a friction in between, that it doesn't have access to your emails or calendars directly. You have to send or like share your calendars emails to Amazon Echo, and then it will summarize it for you, and then you will there's so kind of friction in between, and I don't think they bother to try to go fullest on this model. I think what they are trying to do is like they have already established the company, the devices on people's home, and what they try to did here is basically make a appearance where like, okay, we are also doing stuff with AI, but you can use with even with your older devices, but also with Prime it's free. And then in future, if like in this year, if hopefully the Siri, hopefully the other assistants gets good, let's if they get good enough, so that people are talking about it in general, they will definitely bring the newer model, which is definitely currently in working or even finished. They just don't want to ship it people because right now the AI is not that good. So I think that's the strategy they are going with, taking it slow to see what others are doing and going with the flow, where not trying to take the risk of uh, telling customers that we can provide but not, and delay it like what Apple is doing. But what they are trying to do is play a safe game, and I think definitely it should not be a risk game, especially with the customers. What is happening right now, or with most of the companies, especially most of the AI features is like that only, like company says these are the AI features, 90% of the time it doesn't work that way. So I hope any other company who is making AI features in whatever device or even standalone devices, don't overpromise stuff. That is uh, kind of a lesson I have gotten for every other company that have been covering for AI for last 6 months. Don't overpromise and don't scam customers in the name of if that feature doesn't work basically. So I hope it gets better. It's now talking about Alexa Plus, it's a great launch, I will say. They did not try to make it, I think I will say, a good decision in convenient they did not try to make it a big kind of a deal. They just launched it, here it is. If people will buy it, it's okay. If they don't, it's still okay for them because it's not a big bet. Let's see if there are any reviews in future. Right now it's still being shipped to people, so there are not reviews or even any videos by creators, because I don't think they invited creators for that event. But there are not any reviews. uh, hope there are multiple reviews coming in next couple of weeks, and if there are reviews I will recommend the people's videos and give you a summarized thoughts of what people what reviewers are thinking. And if you want to obviously like know, like want to know which videos to watch, which if you want any kind of video recommendation, any kind of reviews of any kind of product, I recommend most of the reviews on my newsletter that is on Monday. So I hope you if you are a subscriber of my newsletter, which is free, there you will get obviously a review recommendation by me. Okay, these are the reviews that you can watch. And yeah, that's it for I think Amazon Amazon's Alexa Plus. After a break, I think we will take a break here, and after a break, we have a couple of new topics to talk about. A couple of them YouTube's couple of like small topics that we can talk about. For now, let's take a break, and after a break, I will see you guys. Welcome back. Let's talk about a couple of small updates that happened last week. Small events, couple of big ones, but again, I think they don't deserve that kind of attention. Like what laziness amount of what Apple is doing with their couple of things there. Apple did launch a couple of products last week. Two products I think they launched. That is new iPad Air with I think M4 chip, and new MacBook Air again with M4 chip. Sorry. So Apple launched two devices. One was starting at 599, another was 999. Apple MacBook Air with two a 13 and 15 inch in Air, and also in 11 and 13 in iPad. So those two products have been launched by Apple last week, and if uh, as I have not used any of the both even older generation of those devices, so I can't talk about much it more. So I just wanted to give that a small update that they are not like they have launched the newer models for it. If you want to buy it, lots of people on Twitter and uh, even on even tech reviewers uh, like people on when I mention people on Twitter, I mention tech reviewers. I just don't mention in general. I mention people who are all like I don't mention like I don't give you guys reviews of a bot that has been commented on any kind of below. What I mean whenever I say people on Twitter, people on any other platform, I say that involves creators, that involves mostly creators in tech who does reviews. Okay, so most of the people thought that now MacBook Airs, which is really gorgeous in terms of looks, but also it's a really great deal for the people who want to buy a new MacBook, which starts with 256 gigs. So 128 is not there, that is actually should not be. And now the newer MacBook Air starts at 999 with 256 gigs of storage, which is a really good comparing price, at least like people are saying when all those. And when it comes to iPad, um, people were like it's just an iPad, there is nothing new in there. It's iPad Airs are basically the lower you can say the version of the main iPad version, because uh, it's iPad Air, not the main iPad Pro. But the display is cut down, because there is I don't think these iPad versions have the tandem displays that the last iPad Air, not iPad Air, the last year they launched the new iPad where they where they use the tandem layer display. If you don't know tandem layer display, those are two OLED displays top on each other, so that can give one of the brightest displays you could ever see, with uh, with a good nano like textured you can say tempered textured glass over those display, which doesn't just reflect the light, which is better, which is good people who love use iPad outdoors in lights. So it is what it is, but there are not reviews out there. Again, I will recommend in the next part or even on the newsletter. uh, Interesting thing that the newer MacBook doesn't have Apple Intelligence. They don't mention it, I think. But yeah, that's it. I think the major news of what Apple did this week, which was not a good news for people who have bought the newer 16 for only and only for major the newer 16 for Apple Intelligence, if they have bought it for that reasons. and it is been delayed for like couple of months for now. It is not going to be coming, like most of the speculations were that the new series is going to be coming till the end of the month April. So people were expecting to coming new series for everyone till the end of month April, but now it has been delayed for indefinite time, and I don't know when it will be available or not. But most of the people are speculating that it is coming with iPhone, mostly direct with 17s, or even going further. It has been kind of a chaotic thing with Apple. Mark Gurman, I think he tweeted about in depth about it. I will link down, or even with tomorrow's newsletter I will give the full context, or even just give you guys resources, you can go and watch it. But in the next episode of podcast we will discuss in depth more about it, because it is happening for the news is 2 days earlier, like it is happened on, I think, Saturday or Friday night, uh, and then it is just still uncovering what is happening with Apple, and people are actually upset about it. I am upset about it because I am not going to get a better Siri for a couple of months now. So it is a not a good situation. Apple having crisis. They have literally said that they are going to have delay with the new Apple Intelligence, which is with especially the Siri one. They are talking. They can't provide it at least right now. So I hope. We get full context whatever it is happening. I will give a full in-depth research, do some research about it. We'll see what is happening, and we will to talk about it in the next episode that is coming Friday. So the another thing happened, another company which is one of my favorite companies coming again for last, like a phone company, that is nothing. CarPlay, Carl Pay, the CEO of Nothing, but one of my favorite companies that is out there when it comes to products and designs. They just know it really well. When I remember to this day that when the first headphones they launched, that were the transparent headphones. In terms of design, those were actually really good, and Nothing is known for their designs, known for their unique UI on their phones. The user experience when it comes to design is something just different. And when you hear Carl Pei saying that he wants to make what other companies have established for from a decade, like when you see from far away what person that if that person is holding an iPhone or not, people can recognize it with design language. People can recognize S Ultra series because of the designs they have established all around, and he wants to establish that too, and it definitely is. And now, so the last week they launched the new Nothing A and Nothing 3A and Nothing 3A Pro, which are one of the most gorgeous phone. Like I really love their both design. Then look at the new Nothing Nothing color, blue color 3A. It just look fabulous. One of my favorite phones, I think, in terms of designs, and I really love their uh, user, like graphics, UI design in their phones. One of my favorite operating systems, like the like OS they use it. Um, Nothing is one of those companies which is definitely doing something different with their not just glyph interface. People are aware with their phones with glyph interface, but my most definitely most love I like the thing about the most the most uh, uh, attractive thing for me for Nothing phones are their back designs and their in device UI designs that they are doing, which is actually really good. Now, uh, now the Nothing 3A is their budget phone, and their flagship phone it has still not launched. And one of the reasons they have said is like people wanted to have a budget phone earlier because people really like the 2A and 2A Pro, so they launched it earlier. And Kalpe said in the Nothing launch event that the newer and 3 Pro is not even completed. They are going to launch it further down the line. And one of the most MKBHD said he was now excited to see what they are doing with the flagship phones, because he really liked on average what that phone provided. Because uh, what Apple did with their budget phones was an abomination basically. Like 16e with $599, which is nothing's flagship price point basically. You know, 599 for Apple's budget phone, and having no Wi-Fi, this and that, and then nothing coming in clutch. I think 399 starting, as like wow, what a pro move, and nothing there. But yeah, nothing has done really good with their not just flagship one I will say, but at least with their uh, budget phones. And they provide 3 years of software update and 4 years of, I think, security updates, which is good for at least budget phone, in budget friendly phone. Then they also, one other new thing that done with the new 3A and 3A Pro is because now they are going towards the AI trajectory that they are going to do. So last year when they launched, there was no AI talk in their device that much, but I was excited what they are going to do with AI, because if you follow Carpe on Twitter, he is much more active and you can definitely go and follow him. One of the guys who talk much more about AI, who is much more about active, when you see his thoughts about AI, it's like you are more excited towards what they are going to integrate AI in their devices. And you can definitely see what the trajectory they are going with the new nothing 3 and 3A Pro. Now they have provided with the new button, like a volume button on the side of, but a side, it is a side button, which they are calling a new like they are calling that essential button basically. So it's kind of a rounded oval shape button. From that, if you can when you feel it, and when you double press it, it definitely it when you press it, it captures a screenshot of the basic whatever is on the screen. And you can whenever there is screenshot, you can add a note for the screenshot and save it, and it will save that screenshots whatever you have taken with the essential buttons, with a dedicated app that is called Essentials. So that is what this new Essential is. They are not calling it the new AI, something kind of it. It is kind of, if you have used deep mind basically, no, not deep mind, if you have ever used the my mind AI app basically, where you just save, you just share the screenshots you have taken, or save the links that you want to organize stuff and you want to see it later. That is what essentially was essentially the new nothing phones essential button is. The new essential button just do whatever, like what that my mind app does. Organize the screenshots, transcripts, uh, make AI transcripts and make transcripts of those, voiceovers. You can record it and save it, multiple screenshots. It can save in multiple organizing way, and that is what actually that my mind app is doing, which is basically, if you whenever you take a screenshot and share it to my mind app, it categorizes according to that picture, and whatever it is on whatever in that picture is, and just categorize it. And it has its own basic, you can say, dedicated app, dedicated website. And nothing has done exactly same like that. You can say it is like an what Pixel did with their screenshot, but at higher level. Basically, when Pixel did with the screenshot, specific screenshot app, it just does with the screenshots and couple of things. But this provides notes, this provides voiceover and transcripts of your voiceover. This gives like multiple categorization, and multiple things that you can do here. And that is what I think for essential button is, and it is exactly like my mind. And one of the things mkbhd point out in his video when he was talking about essential button, that he said that he don't want to get into an system, a software which is not available on all the other platforms. So basically when he said that he really liked the essential button, but the problem is he would not go full in with those kind of software because those are not cross platform. It is not available on your pcs, not available on your other phones. And that is why apps like my mind exist, and it is available on all devices. I think it is available on pcs, laptop, website, as a website. It is available on android and ios users. So essentially if you want to know the new nothing app and want to experience it, I will highly recommend that my mind, it's mymind, my mind app, available on your with both Google Play Store and Apple's App Store. It is really good. I have been using it for last 2 weeks, and it is really good. You should give it a try. So I think that is it with Nothing 3A and 3A Pro for me. If you want to go reviews, there all reviews are out right now. Majority of the people are saying they love it. It is good at what it does, because comparing to what other companies like Apple is doing with iPhone 16e is fairly really good. Then in when it comes to design, people have extreme opinions over it, because some people just hate that design and don't like it. Some people is just like love that design. And when it comes to design, it's so subjective that I think company tries to make that design a normal kind of a thing, and that is what Apple did with layers. Like it took 4 years for Apple to make the three camera setup a normal look and for the people. Same with the Pixel one, the Pixel bar, what they did with starting with 6a and now we are at 9. Same with Ultra, they have gone with the strip camera system, and now the Nothing has done something different, and it will take time for Nothing to grow. But I love the design. People are not people are like they don't like it, they love it. There is no in middle in between, because people have not that use that much devices, at least for right now. So that's it for Nothing 3A and 3A Pro right now. Another news that happened to be as a good thing for podcast users, podcast listeners, as on YouTube announced the statistics there last week, where they talk about how YouTube now has reached 1 billion active users for podcasts, which is a phenomenal thing for me, obviously as a creator who is starting out. Like seeing there are 1 billion active podcast listeners out there, and I haven't even reached 1% of those people. Like it's incredible, it's motivating, is that people are listening to podcasts, people are there are people out who are listening to podcasts. I just have to get better. And one of the interesting things I really like about is that when it comes to podcasts, or is like, are people even listening to podcasts, is because I am one kind of a person who listens to podcasts most of the time, at least multiple podcasts, not just tech. Like in when it comes to tech, there are multiple. There is Worstcast podcast, there is memcabase, this waveform podcast. And then when it comes to just one-to-one conversation, like what I am having right now with there, like I don't have another co-host with me. In future it will be definitely, but right now I don't have. But there are one-to-one, like Emma Chamberlain's podcast is really good. Then there is Tim Ferriss podcast, then there is Joe Rogan's podcast. I watched couple of episodes of like older episodes of his, like which is good. Then there is Lex Friedman, Diary of CEO. These are a couple of podcasts, like I will highly recommend you can go and watch it. They are really good. Then there is another niche podcast. I don't know you will go and watch it or not, but Jesse Tyler's podcast. If you don't know Jesse, he's the star of he has been in the Modern Family, played character by Mitchell, one of my favorite shows of all time. That is a really good podcast. You can go and watch it. Then yeah, these are the podcasts. I hope I'm not just missing one, couple of this, but these are the regular podcasts. At least I try to watch one episode of at least every podcast each week, because they provide high value stuff in those deep conversations with deep thought about their personal thought about certain things, and I really like those podcasts too. And when I saw that number 1 billion, I was like so much shocked. There are so many people are actively listening to only podcasts on YouTube. Like I can just imagine there are other platforms like Pocket Cast, Spotify. Then there is so many other individual platforms out there. So I hope people who are listening to podcasts, uh, uh, people who are actually making podcasts, or people who want to start a podcast, definitely go and start. Like you can literally see, like YouTube has given you the numbers. Like there are people who are interested in, you can just go and do it, like I am doing right now. It may be just small right now, people who are doing it, like people who are watching my stuff, but in future I'm just too much hopeful for it. And I just love the format of a podcast to give in-depth things and have a good conversational thing, because it's a two-way conversation again, not a one-way thing. So I hope people just understands that. So I think yeah, that is it for, I think, this week's couple of updates. Main thing was Alexa Plus, but now I want to talk about the small announcement that I'm gonna make this episode only. So what has been happening for last couple of weeks for me is that there there are constant news regarding AIs. There are constant news regarding couple of things that those are small in spectrum, and I always comes into contradiction where should I whether include those in my podcast or not. But like AI is one of those topics, but there are other so many topics. There is space technology, space astronomy, astrology. Sorry. Then there is other companies, small other companies that are developing good things, products all around the world. So at least for now, what I'm gonna do is add a new weekly AI section. So basically it will be named as your weekly's AI section, AI news for you. In that whole section, in that of a podcast, I will, it is not a new podcast, it will be added in like regular podcast only, regular news, but you will get the new weekly whatever the small stuffs are that are happening, like how last week ChatGPT launched 4.5, how uh, DeepSeek is doing, what other companies are doing. There are small steps, and every week there are small steps that are happening in all the companies that provide and gets you to the big newsworthy thing. So I want to cover the whole thing, especially when it comes to AI, which is a big topic. So from next episode you are going to see your weekly AI news. Same is going to be applied in my newsletter. Same thing is going to be done there, that you will get a dedicated AI section, which in couple of lines I will summarize what whole things happen in AI that is important to, like from OpenAI, from Anthropic, from Perplexity, from Claude, that is Anthropic, then OpenAI, Gemini, Gork, so many AIs are out there. These are just AI companies, big AI companies, Meta, big AI companies. But what I'm going to do, like we are going to follow these companies from now. We are going to see what they are doing. We are going to things. We are going to talk about this. So that is going to be get added. Now is also another interesting category that I'm going to add in my newsletter, that is space technology. So basically SpaceX, Blue Origin, one of the biggest space companies, private scale space companies, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. Then there is NASA, ISRO. I don't know that much, but I'm interested in space technology. So I'm from this week. I'm gonna also not this week, but an upcoming week. I'm gonna include space technologies and AI on newsletter, and AI on my this podcast every week. And you never know that space technologies can come into our uh, podcast section 2 whenever there is big things happening to explain you guys to it. But if you want to follow space technologies also, and if you are interested in that, do go and subscribe to my newsletter, because first we go trial and go get feedback from there. So go do check out a newsletter there which is free, which, and it's just like I am just right now for talking just for two topics now, AI and space technology. Like in future we will be talking about taking lots of things in mind and talk about like lots, we will introduce lots of section and swap those section according to the that week's news, and that week's importance of news, that week's whatever I feel to share mostly. So yeah, this is was kind of a small announcement that that is going to be changing from like happening from in this coming week. So hope you enjoyed this podcast, hope you love it. uh, Again, comment down your thoughts, comment down you whatever you wanna get, you wanna know what you wanna know that we can cover on this podcast regarding technology, regarding stuff that you want to know. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Tech Guy podcast. I will see you next week, and with newer episode, couple of new deep things that we are going to talk. And then tomorrow there is going to be our Monday's news section on our newsletter. Go to check it out too. Yeah, that's it for today's episode of the Tech Guy podcast. I will see you guys in the next week.